In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys exactly how to set up your bases so you can be generating thousands of ore and coal and any other resource that you really want to gather constantly and passively. This way you guys can be making all the spheres that you need, because these get incredibly expensive as you're moving along. So it is imperative that you guys set up your bases so you can passively be generating these materials. Otherwise, you're just going to be mining all the time and getting very little out of it. So it's incredibly important that you plan your bases around these materials. With this video, I'm going to break down the absolute simplest baseline mechanics of it, and then I'll give you guys exact examples of what I did in our world and exactly how you can go about it, starting from early game, and then I'll show you guys some other pals and things that you can do towards the late game. Yeah, if you want to catch more Palworld content, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, but let's go ahead and jump into this video. Well, here you can see the basic concept of what is going on, and that is planning and building your bases around the ores that you're looking for. So unfortunately, this one doesn't count as in, it's only like half in, but they won't target it. There's a bunch of other ones here that they'll normally target, but they've already gotten rid of them in this day. But essentially what you're going to do is place your pal box around the iron ores and the coal. So this base is actually located at about 310 minus 30 up here in the mountains. This was our second base. Some good early game bases would be by the Desolate Church. Behind here is a decent area with a lot of ore. The only issue is there's a bit of a hill, a big rock, so it's kind of hard to fit a lot of other things around it. But I've been told that there is actually another good spot with a lot of iron and a lot of flat ground over here at minus 10, minus 530 range. So the Plateau of Beginnings is right here. So both of these are very good early game first base locations, and you're going to want to start farming this ore right out of the gate. Even though you can't use it right out of the gate, you're really going to want to start stocking up on it because it's used in everything. If we go over here to where I can make some spheres, I'll show you exactly how much you guys are going to be using. Starting over here at the mega spheres, you're going to start using 1 ingot. It's going to go up to 2, then 3. And then once you get to the ultra spheres, it's going to actually bump up to refined ingots. So that's why we need the coal. And that's up to 5 ingots for just 1 ultra sphere. And the catch rates are so low that you guys are going to be throwing so many of these spheres. You're really going to be burning through these resources. So that's why I was saying you really need to plan your bases around them. So I'm just going to show you guys exactly how I set up the church base here, because it's essentially purely just for mining the ore. We don't really have anything else here for like a breeding pen. So let's go ahead and jump into how you're actually going to set up these bases. If you're just making mining outposts, obviously, if this is your full main base, add everything else around it that you need. But there's going to be a few key concepts. So obviously, first, get all the beds that you need for your pals, and then set up like 1 or 2 berry farms so they always have a constant supply of food. These guys are generating thousands, so you could probably just get away with 1. Depends on how many of the pals that you have that have like increased hunger and that type of stuff. So I just always set up 2, so they're always generating it and they never go hungry. I don't have to worry about them. I actually don't have one here, but then you can set up like the hot spring or whatever to help out their sanity in case they get injured, whatever. So that will be very helpful setup. That way all of your pals are self-sustaining here. And then from there, what you're going to want to do is place a box basically in the central area around all the ores. So they spawn like all around here. So I went ahead and placed a storage box right here. So this is where all of the gatherers are going to be beelining it to with their AI. So from here this is where we're going to be placing all the ore that they are mining. And that is just from like this last day or 2 in game is at 150. And that's going to go a long way. So that is going to be how you generally set it up. If you guys have other boxes around the ores, make sure you just fill them up like in each slot here. So I have just 1 fiber in all these slots. That way the guys can't pass find and put them in here and fill up a bunch of random containers with ore and stone and everything else that's going on. You go ahead and just leave the central one with designated ore. They're going to put it in there and it's going to help you guys out a lot. I just have a furnace next to this just so if I need to make ingots, I go right from to and from, or once I make the ingots, I can put it back in the box without having to move and grapple around if I'm encumbered. So that is going to be like the base setup. Now, the actual pals that you're going to be using, you're going to want to be focusing on things that basically just mine. So a great starting option would be the dig toys. They don't do that great by themselves. As you can see, they hit a bunch of 1s. Like, it adds up, but it's definitely not the greatest mining of all time. They're much better when you actually throw them with their partner skill. Then all those ones are going to turn into 20s. I'm wondering if once there's some updates, they're actually going to keep their headband once they're placed in the base, and then they can do the 20s. If that's the case, definitely put them in your base. They're going to be like the best miner, even into like end game most likely, and they're so easy to get your hands on. Some early game locations where I got my first dig toys was on this base up here, kind of by the quiver. They were in like the level 20 range or so, like low 20s, depending on which one you found. So that's a great starting location for the dig toys, and you can get rolling on this. Otherwise, there's the Reptyro, where I kind of found over here on this left side, a little bit closer to this volcano area. And then another good, very late game pal you can use would be the Astegon. There are 1 handiwork and then 4 mining. I found these guys to be a little bit more helpful than the dig toys, but obviously they are pretty high level. You can catch them in like low to mid 40s are their levels, so they're pretty tough, and you're gonna get them later on. I caught them around like level 35 or so, just a couple levels ago. So that's another great late game option that you can be using. And I just found their AI and their damage to the actual ores to be a lot better than the dig toys. But if you're just rocking dig toys, that'll be perfectly fine. I would run like maybe 3 or 4 of these guys in a base. And then if you're using the Stegons later on, you can honestly just get away with having like 1 or 2 there. And maybe with like a couple other support miners, like I have this Blaze Mutt, he's a decent miner. And then from there, just make sure you have like 1 guy who's fire, who can smelt your ingots if you need. And then obviously you're going to want your waterers, gatherers, planters, those things for the berries, so you can maintain your pals here. But that's basically the general concept and some of the pals that I used for a lot of these bases. But I did just want to show you guys my coal base really quick. So I'm here at the coal base up in like the northeast side of the map here in the desert. This one is purely just set up for coal right now. We'll eventually add some other stuff here, but this one is purely coal. There's like 9 or 10 coal deposits that will spawn around here. And then in this place, I just got like my Minus Sting, a Stegon, those guys set up to be mining, and then a couple guys for just hauling all of the coal that spawns. And I just cleaned this out like a couple minutes ago, and we're already getting close to like 150, and we have like 1,000, 2,000 back at our main base that I hauled this all back to. So once again, here is just the box in the middle. I do have a feeder right here just for the miners, but otherwise I have my berries over here and the hot spring just to keep them healthy, and all of their beds around the edge here, just in a clear open location so they don't get like bugged out when they're going to and from sleep. And that's really all you need for wherever you're deciding to set up these bases, and you'll be good to go. Obviously you can use these as your main base too and just fill in all these other locations. I will say a big important thing that I have noticed is you do not want to be putting a stone pit here where you are mining all of these different coal and iron ores, because I've noticed a lot of the times the miners will just stick on the stone quarry and that's all they'll do, and very rarely go mine the ores, and you're going to end up losing out on some efficiency there. So if you do need stone, go ahead and place it down and gather up some stone that will last a while, and then get rid of it. These things are super easy to build. It's just, you know, some wood, stone, palladium, and you can take them in and out. Just have a location where you're going to be doing that, and you'll be good to go. Yeah, best of luck on setting up your bases. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. But thank you guys for watching this far in the video. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to leave a like on it if you did find it helpful, or consider subscribing for more Palworld content here on the channel. But anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next video. See ya.